This is the end of the first half between Spain and France in the semi-final of the World Cup 2026 in a match where France started much better. They were just making great combinations, making great attacking plays. They were not falling victim to the press of Spain. They were able to bypass the press of Spain, especially with great passes from Upamecano, but they were struggling, even though they were playing very well on the defense, in the midfield, everywhere. Their last third passes weren't great, especially from Olise making some mistakes with space and time to decide, but the first touch passes were coming actually much better. But then there was a problem for France. There was a penalty from Digne, very bad play, and then Spain scores the goal. Then it's cooling break, then it's an injury for Saliba, and after that, France was never really able to come out and play as well as they were before, especially because Spain, after scoring the goal, instead of defending a bit more, they went and they started to press higher on the pitch, higher and higher with more and more players. So France started to struggle because they can't connect the midfield with the attack because they have good players over there, of course, Barcola, Mbappé, Olise, and Dembele. Where Dembele even started the game on the right, he's not more forced to come into the middle, and Spain is just playing much better. But before that, before the goal and the injury and the cooling break, France was doing much better, but they never got close to the goal. As you can see, expected goals 0.99 for Spain because the penalty 0.04 for France, so not even close. But they still made some good plays, some good runs into the box, some good dribbles and good passes into space. Unai Simon, the keeper, had to come out of the box to do a sliding tackle to stop Mbappe from attacking, so very much alive in the game. France over here. Then possession for Spain at halftime 55%, for France 45%. Total shots for Spain 5 shots, 2 for France, on target 1 for Spain, which is the penalty, and 0 for France. So yes, it's true that Spain is playing better, but it's like they only got 1 shot on target, it was a penalty. So out of that, France was controlling, like Upamecano playing super well. I'm very surprised with Upamecano's passing ability, it's going crazy, very, very good. Then big chances too for Spain. Yeah, there was a very big chance where they sent the ball sideways. And then corner kicks 3 for France, 1 for Spain. Accuracy on the passing 84% for France and 87% for Spain. Both teams with 1 yellow card. A very important thing that Spain changed was the fact that their left back, Cucurella, and their left winger, Baena, they were always in the same position, but Baena started going more inside, so Cucurella had way more space going wide. Best player of the match so far, Yamal, got the penalty and has been causing troubles on the right side. Rabiot, even though he has a yellow card, is making great defensive actions and making great runs forwards, actually. And then nobody... Upamecano should have a better classification, in my opinion, because his defense is very solid and his passing is really, really good. All this, what is... Because he's not doing great today. Like, he made some good first touch passes where he had almost no time to decide, but when he has time and space, he's making bad passes actually. But also, it's because of the good defensive good defensive plays from Spain. So in the end of the day, I would say that France started much better. They were attacking much better, creating a lot of spaces. Barcola, very open on the left, forcing the structure of Spain to open up, creating a lot of spaces where France could explore. After the penalty, the injury, and the cooling break, after the goal scored as well, Spain started pressing much higher and took away the vibe, the spirit of France. France still very much alive, they playing still well, they just not being superior to Spain, and Spain is not parking the bus, they taking the game into their own hands. And it's going to be very interesting the second half to see the subs, maybe the way will come in for France to give more and better decision in the final third. Let's see how it goes. Second half will start soon. Here we are in the end of France versus Spain. 2-0 is the end of the game scoreboard. Spain much better than France. Like I said earlier, before the first goal, France was much better, but after that, Spain just gave no chance to France. You can see France has 3 shots on target. 2 of them were really in the end of the game. France couldn't deal with a very good and solid defense of Spain. Everybody coming close together to defend, making important falls away from their goal without seeing yellow cards. Everybody playing very, very well together. The midfield keeping the ball together. I really think France lacked a strong midfield. They always had Olise and then Cherki. I think they lacked a third midfielder that was a bit more defensive, that could keep the ball more. I think Chouameni didn't do great. Rabiot saw the yellow card, so he came out at halftime for Kone. I don't think Kone brought much to the match. Also, a bit unlucky that Saliba got injured and couldn't continue playing. But France didn't play bad, of course. They're still one of the best teams in the tournament. I really thought that France would win today versus Spain. I thought it would be a very hard game, but France, with their attacking prowess, will do better than Spain. But Olise had a really bad game. Mbappe came alive in the second half, and he should participate more though. I think in the end of the match he started to appear on the middle, on the right, on the left, come to the midfield and play. I think he should have done that more throughout the game because that's what Spain does. With Olmo, Yarzabal, and then Merino and Ferran later in the game, a lot of people come to the midfield either to defend or to attack. Shout out to Pedri, defensively masterclass, keeping control of Olise, and then Fabian Ruiz bring energy and dynamics to the midfield. Porro scored the goal for Spain. One of the goals, very, very well done. Cucurella defensively, also very, very strong. Unai Simon came out of the box 2 times to stop what would be almost certain goals for France. So that was also very, very important. The French players, they know that Spain was better. They're taking this defeat. I'm still seeing the images. They're taking this defeat, not lightly, of course, but they're not mad. They know that Spain was better. Spain was a better team in general. More together, both on the attack and on the defense, but especially in the midfield and on the defense, because on the midfield, like everybody for Spain comes together to the middle, to the side of the ball, and they defend so well. So difficult for France, which has some of the best players in terms of skills, to keep the ball. It was so hard for them. It's really the key factor for this Spain is their togetherness and their ability to keep the ball to themselves and their high press. And then one thing very important is that they keep the possession for long periods of time, and then they send a ball between the defense through the ground or through the air to explore runs behind the defense. And Portugal was playing kind of like Spain, especially versus Spain. They were doing a very good high press, but then they could never find those runs in behind of the defense. And I think that Spain really masters that play style. But I think the most important for Spain is their teamwork, their togetherness. And they have incredible players, of course. And I think the midfield was the key, both defensively and offensively. And I really think France should have a third stronger midfielder because Olise was being perturbed by Pedri, but nobody from France was perturbing Pedri or Fabien. And before the second goal of France, there was a pass from the keeper, I think, from Unai Simon into the midfield of Spain that nobody from France contested. And then Doué didn't help defend as well on closer to the box. Well, everybody in Spain, even Yamal, comes to defend. Much better team, much close together. Tomorrow we're going to be watching England and Argentina. So I hope to see you here, guys. I think England will go through if the ref doesn't decide to help Argentina. And I think England is kind of a bit like Spain, not as much, but kind of. They help each other a lot. They play a bit more together. And I want to see a Spain-England final, and I want Spain to win, because today they really showed me they are the better team in this World Cup, I believe. They might not have the best players, which they still do in certain parts of the field, but they are the better team, all close together. By the way, I'm seeing Unai Simon here celebrating on the screen. I think Raya is a better goalkeeper, but coming out of the box, Simon is better, and today that's what Spain needed. Let's see. Best player, Pedro Porro, with the goal. Cucurella defensively was awesome. Koubarsi, very strong on the defense, almost supporting a lot of those attacks. Unai Simon made a couple of saves, came out of the goal. Rodri, perturbing Olise. France couldn't use one of their best players today. Then Cherki came in, but also didn't do much. Doué came in, also didn't do much. Dembele was still, I think, the best outside of the offensive midfield if we don't count Mbappe. And then Rabiot, I think France really missed Rabiot in the second half, but he had the yellow card and he was being very aggressive. He was close to see the red card. I think Rabiot really, France really lacked Rabiot in the end. As you can see, Dembele 6.5, You know, Barcola 6.4, Olise 6.4. Really not great. Really not great. Total shots 3 for Mbappé, 2 for Baena, Dembélé, Doué, Oyarzabal and Porro. Goal for Oyarzabal and Porro. XG, Oyarzabal because penalty, then Porro, then Ruiz and then Mbappé. Very little. XG on target, Dembélé 006. Shots on target 2 for Dembélé, 1 for Doué, 1 Oyarzabal, 1 Porro. Oh yeah, because Spain only got 2 shots on target. 2 goals, but 1 was the penalty, of course. On the attack, touches in the position box, Mbappé with 7, Yamal with 5. Successful dribbling, Cherki, 2 out of 2. Big chance missed, Ruiz. Most touches, Laporte and Fabian and Rodri. Falls suffered, Olise. Suffered 3 falls. Rodri also suffered 3. Offsides, Mbappé with 3. Baena and Yamal with 2. Accurate passing, Laporte, Rodri and Fabian. Tchouaméni and Lacroix and Babacano, also good in that department. Big chances created, 1 for Yamal, 1 for Olmo. Key passes, 2 for Fabian, 1 for Dembélé. Yeah, Dembélé was the best attacking player today for France. 1 for Yamal as well. Assists, 1 for Olmo. Expected assists, 0.39 for Cherki, but then Corellia defended very well. Yamal 0.3. Accurate passes in the final third, Fabian 75%, Koundé 91%, Barcola 100%, Olise 75%. Accurate long passes, Unai Simon, Upamecano, Mania, and Dembélé as well. In the defense, most duels won was Rodri and Tchouaméni. On the air, Merino, 5 out of 8, Rodri 4 out of 4. On the ground, duels won, Rodri 7 out of 11. Tackles won, Cucurella 3 out of 4. Really good. Goalkeeping, Simon 3 saves, Mania 0 saves. You see? So Simon 3 act as a sweeper, as you can see. Really, really good. It was a really good match in the end. Spain was really able to cancel the French attacking prowess. And I really think that France lacked the more solid and consistent midfield. At the end of the day, Spain goes to the final. Now they're waiting for the match of England versus Argentina. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you thought about the game today. Let me know what you think about the game tomorrow between England and Argentina. And I see you on the next one. Keep it cool, keep it healthy.